Mondays this month, we are focusing on making the most of the days in February. And today we're going to help you get organized, whether it's that playroom you've been trying to tackle or maybe your closet. Professional organizer Kim Miller is here to help us get started. And Kim, I'm very excited because I think so many times our intentions are good, but it can be a little bit challenging. So how do we get started and how do we tackle it in a way that we can actually finish out the project?
Well, Carla, there's basically about 5 steps to help anybody get started. That would be sorting, purging, assigning a home, containerizing, and then maintaining. And the first step I would do with, let's take paper for example. Let's just imagine you had a whole clutter of paper here and you're like, okay, I've got to get this sorted, but what's the quickest way to do that? Well, I have created some example of some bins right here to give you an example of how to get started with sorting. So for instance, let's say you've got piles of clutter here and you're going, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? We're going to put receipts maybe in the first one. That's where receipts would go. Then you would pick all your tax information in another one. And then maybe all your investments in another one. And usually you'll have about 10 different tubs to kind of start sorting. That makes things go quicker, makes things go easier. And then let's say you have a closet and you're just filled with clothes and shoes and all kinds of things, and you know that you've just got to tackle this quickly. So I have created some bins over here for purging. That's the next step. So we have a keep, toss, and a donate bin. So that way when you're picking up, let's say you have clothes all over the floor and you're like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. Okay, that looks like a keeper. The next thing might be a donate, or maybe this has a rip in it and that's going to go into the toss to get rid of it. And then the key too is finding space to put everything. Just because you have everything in a closet doesn't mean it's going to have to go back there. Maybe you have a space under your bed you can put things, or maybe you have another closet, or it could be a garage, it could be the attic. So you kind of have to think about what you have and utilize that space very efficiently. And then the key too is containerizing. Everybody wants to go out and buy containers as a first thing. Yeah. That's wrong. We don't want to buy containers the first thing, because what happens is if you go out and you buy all these really pretty containers, people feel obligated to use them, and maybe the space you have is not going to be workable for those containers.
That's a great point. And you've got some great options over here, different sizes, but they're clear and labeled. How does that help?
So I have found my best product for using for organizing are clear containers. Why? You can see through them. They label very nicely, and I have kind of given some examples on labeling on different types of labels, whether it's with the label machine, or these are nice little pockets where you can switch the labels out as needed, but you can leave the pocket there. And they have different sizes and they stack nicely, they're durable, they're inexpensive, and they just save a lot of space.
Wonderful. And are we down to the E? And it's because I failed to mention that in part of all of this and getting started, all you have to think about is the word space. And you've got sort, purge, assign
a space or a home, and then containerize. And then the last thing is maintaining. You know, I can help people get organized and it all looks great and it all looks beautiful, but the thing is, we don't want it to go back to how it used to be.
Sure.
So we need to maintain that, and that's where I come in and I help people think about what is the most efficient way to get organized that works with their personality.
That's a great point. And at what point, and we were talking earlier, you said, you don't judge, you're here to help out. At what point should someone say, okay, I really need professional help to get my life organized? I imagine the benefits are tremendous, but what's that point where we should really call for help?
And that's a really good question, because there are a lot of different reasons why somebody could call a professional organizer. And the main thing is, if you're constantly walking around your home and you're constantly seeing that clutter and it's just not going away, and you've bought every book, you've watched every video, you've tried doing it yourself, and you're just totally stressed out, that would be probably the top #1 reason. Maybe you can't find your things. You're constantly going through and I can't find this, I got to run to the store, I got to buy another one. People just don't have time. We have busy lives also. So those are kind of the top reasons. Or maybe you have health issues, or you're just embarrassed to have people come to your house.
Sure. Well, it sounds like a great investment. And of course, you can find Kim on Facebook. We're going to post all of her contact information on the First News at 4 page on our website. Kim, thanks so much for helping us out. I think these are good practical tips.
And I think they'll find a value. Thank you.